Hello, welcome to part 3 of my review of my Canyon Ultimate CFSL Disc 8.0 Di2 Aero. Alright, that's a mouthful. In this video, we're going to be talking about running the Tubeless Tires on my Mavic Cosmic Pro Carbon UST wheels. Now these wheels were provided stock with the bike from the Canyon factory outlet. These are great wheels because they're really nice and comfortable at 28 mm wide and running at lower pressures. All right. Now these wheels came out of the box partially inflated and with the tubes installed. So these tubeless tires can function as clinchers as well, and they were installed as such. So there were tubes inside with the rest of the kit that was supplied with this bike. They provided the tubeless valves with the removable core and the locking nut, which is, if I can just zoom in over here. So what I did was, after I got the bike set up and I got a little bit more comfortable with this bike, I removed the tubes. And you got to watch the video. I'll provide the link down below from GCN and as well as from Mavic about these wheels. Now, tubeless tires in the past were really difficult to put on, install and take out, and they were messy because of the sealant that needed to go in. But with this new system, this Mavic Cosmic UST system, taking off the tire wasn't so difficult. I still needed to use tire levers to get the tire back on, but it was not that difficult. It was no more difficult than putting on a regular clincher tire. And what I did was I took out the tubes, installed back these tires, inflated them as per the instructions using a floor pump. I just have a Joe Blow yellow floor pump, and that did the trick. Popped the tires into the bead, seated the tire into the groove on the rim easily, and then removed the valve core over here. Removed the valve core, and then put in about. I went to the local agent for Mavic wheels and tires, and I got a bottle of the Mavic Sealant. And as per instruction, put in 30 mils of sealant into each tire, screwed the valve core back, and made sure that nothing was blocking the valve, and I pumped up the tire to the required pressure. And you can figure out this pressure by downloading the Mavic app. They have an app, iPhone and Android app. And you key in your bike weight, the rider weight, and it'll work out for performance, for comfort, or for whatever configuration you want. It will give you a suggestion for the ideal tire pressure. And so for me, I'm a pretty lightweight guy. I'm about 60 plus kilos. The bike weighs about 9.17 kilos fully loaded. So that works out to be about 70 plus PSI, 71, 72 PSI on the back. And then the front, maybe 68, 69 PSI. And that's all. Generally very low pressure, but great rolling resistance, apparently. I have no way of verifying that, but comfortable ride. And this bike allows me to keep up with my regular group with no problem. I don't see any decrease in performance. In fact, I enjoy the ride quite a bit more than my previous ride. So this is a great step up. Okay, there's one other thing I want to mention about these Mavic Cosmic Carbon Pro disc, UST wheel tire combination is about the valve. Now, some people would advise that the valve be resting at the 12 o'clock position. Now, this technically is the best. So the whole idea is so that the sealant, if you were to put it here, the sealant would rest below here and would tend to clog up the valve. All right, especially when you unscrew this and you try to pump some air in. Initially, as the air goes in, the sealant could think that this is a puncture and then try to seal it, and therefore you get clogged valves. But the way that I recommend handling these valve positions is when you bring your bike back and you're ready to store it, put the valve at the 8 o'clock or the 4 o'clock position. This way, any sealant that is trapped in the little cavity at the end of the valve would then drip down back into the tire. It would drip down back into the tire. And if you've left it here for a long time, it'll just, the liquid will settle here and there will be no blockage. So then when you want to pump the tire up before your ride, you just bring it up. There wouldn't be any residue here. Very, very unlikely to have any residue in the back of the valve. And so when you unscrew the nipple and you depress it and you pump air in, there's no clogging, and you will have more of a trouble-free operation of this. Right? So that's a little bit of advice for the valve position. Thank you. And that's it about these tubeless tires. They're great. Thank you.